Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. I work hard on this channel to bring you the latest news, the breaking news, and to help you understand what's going on behind the scenes of the country, what's going on behind the scenes of the economy, and how this impacts your money. Nothing could be more indicative than the thing that is actually holding up the stimulus talks at the last stage, at the 11th hour. Here's what's going on right now. First, let me show you a tweet on your screen from Brian Schatz. And Brian is a United States Senator from Hawaii. And he said, if Republicans drop their last-minute demand to sabotage 2021 economically, we could have a COVID deal within hours. This new demand by Senator Toomey is all that's standing in the way of a relief bill passing. So what exactly is going on? First, let me tell you that as we speak, the House is voting on a stopgap funding bill. This will go from the House to the Senate, and essentially the government will continue to be funded for a couple more days. Here's an article on your screen from Bloomberg, and the headline of the article reads, Republicans bind virus aid to limit on Federal Reserve spending, risking the entire bill. Now, keep in mind, this proposal came from Pat Toomey, who's a Republican from Pennsylvania. And Democrats are actually warning that this move would handicap the ability of the Federal Reserve to lend money in the future. Now, you come to my channel because you want to learn about the country, the economy, and money. Here's the link between what's going on with Senator Patrick Toomey's demands and how it impacts the economy. When the CARES Act was instituted, the Federal Reserve essentially used emergency lending power to lend large amounts of money to lower interest rates. What Patrick Toomey is saying is that those powers should be done away with. In other words, we don't want to be fiscally irresponsible and just make it easy to flood the system with money. I'm simplifying it. But what Democrats are saying is, hey, this would tie the hands of the Biden administration. This could limit us economically in the future, because in the future, if we want those same powers, again, the House and the Senate would have to come together. So Democrats are like, no way, Jose, we're not going to let you do that. So according to Bloomberg, a bid by Republicans to constrain the Federal Reserve's crisis lending programs is threatening to derail negotiations on the stimulus relief package and has essentially looped in or drawn the incoming Biden administration into the fight at the 11th hour. So what is going on here? Senator Patrick Toomey, who's a Republican from Pennsylvania, wants a provision within this new stimulus package that would bar or limit the Federal Reserve from restarting 5 programs that expire at the end of the year, or even create similar ones moving forward. This is the important one. Prevent the Federal Reserve from creating similar ones moving forward. In other words, they would be required by law, if this is signed by the president, they would not be able to create similar lending programs going forward. The roughly $900 billion proposal that is essentially at the finish line right now would extend support, as we know, to out-of-work Americans, but would limit the ability of the Federal Reserve to actually lend money. We're talking specifically 5 programs that essentially came about as a direct result of the CARES Act. Toomey said the language would only affect, I quote, a narrow universe of Federal Reserve facilities, but Democrats have accused Republicans of trying to hamstring or limit the incoming Biden administration. So this is pretty surprising stuff. Now, the next director of the National Economic Council who's been selected by President-elect Joe Biden is Brian Deese. And Brian Deese said in a statement that this stimulus package should, I quote, should not include unnecessary provisions that would hamper the Treasury Department and the Federal Reserve's ability to fight economic crisis. Now, I want our viewers and subscribers to understand that the Federal Reserve is a lender. The United States Treasury is a spender. So it's almost like one gives money to the other and the other spends it. That's the way our economy works. That's the way our system of government works. So if the Federal Reserve is not able to act as an abundant lender, the US Treasury cannot spend. Now, the argument from Republicans is, hey, we can't spend money we don't have. If you saw a previous video on my channel, I showed you a clip from Senator Ron Johnson, Republican from Wisconsin, who basically said, we don't have an unlimited checking account. We are mortgaging our children's future. So you can see the philosophical and the political differences in ideologies between the two sides. And Democrats have said that this dispute over lending by the Federal Reserve is the biggest issue that is holding back stimulus negotiations. It's almost like the Republicans are thinking long term and the Democrats are like, no, we're not going to let you do that. We need to not let that hold up negotiations now. Keep in mind that the aggressive actions that the Federal Reserve took earlier this year to provide liquidity. And by the way, I just want to be as clear as I can. I think the Federal Reserve of the United States of America did an outstanding job in making sure that money was injected into the system, making sure that there was money out there for people who could borrow it. They did an outstanding job in trying to calm us down at a point where things could have been much worse. So I do want to be as clear as I can. I think the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell, I think they did a phenomenal job. I've done other videos talking about Jerome Powell. I believe that Jerome Powell, with the actions he took, pretty much saved America economically. I do believe that. Even though, now by the way, Jerome Powell is not Superman. He can't help every single person, which is why we still have individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality who've been badly impacted. But I think he did a good job. So the Federal Reserve's actions to provide liquidity and essentially provide a backstop or some sort of a guarantee for corporate America did help us, even though it didn't solve all our problems. So keep in mind that the central bank, meaning the Federal Reserve, did oppose the action of the US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who on the 19th of November instructed them to wrap up several facilities, and they had to comply with that request. Here's a statement from Jeremy Kress, who's an assistant professor of business law at the University of Michigan and a former Fed attorney. He said this would be a very significant change in the Fed's emergency lending powers. Guys, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is not something small. This does impact the future of the country. What happens when we have another crisis? That is what the concern is right here. This is what Jeremy Kress said. I am concerned that this provision would tie the Fed's hands not in the short term during the pandemic, but also handcuff the Fed in the long term when responding to an unforeseen crisis in the future. And Pat Toomey said the language will only apply to the 5 programs set to expire soon and would not change the Fed's current powers. He said in a statement, the language Senate Republicans are advocating for affects a very narrow universe of lending facilities and is emphatically not a broad overhaul of the Federal Reserve's emergency lending authority. That was from Patrick Toomey. Now, here's a statement from Senator John Cornyn, who's a Texas Republican. He said today, it would force accountability and consensus rather than allow unilateral action. Shouldn't leave it lying around so it could be used for unapproved purposes like a backdoor to more state and local aid. Aha! See, now we understand what's going on. This is important, guys. This is where the pieces fit together. This is why you're on my channel. The concern that the Republicans have is that with an incoming Biden administration, with a House led by Democrats, maybe the Senate led by Democrats. By the way, if the Democrats win the Senate, they can pretty much do what they want. It won't matter what's happening right now because they'll be able to pass what they want. So, Democrats have said that they don't want to do this, and Republicans have said they want to prevent the unused money, which is about $450 billion from the CARES Act, from being used for unintended reasons. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Do you think this action from Pat Toomey, the Republican from Pennsylvania, can risk the entire stimulus deal? Do you think the concerns of the Democrats are warranted, or do you think, forget all of it, just pass the stimulus? Well, we can't, because every single person's support is needed. And if someone brings something up, others have to argue on it and debate it. That is the way our system works. This is not something this is a real risk, not only to the stimulus, but maybe to the future of the country. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I want to engage in a healthy debate about this with our community, a healthy, knowledgeable debate based on the information I've given you in this video. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is a labor of love. It's a labor of love for you. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. This is some information about me. I am a proud patriot of the United States of America. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American first. We are all American first. I release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. If you want to get breaking news and alerts from us, if you want to get important news and information from us that's relevant to the country, that's relevant to the economy, because matters of the country impact the economy, and matters that help you make more money, save more money, and invest more money. Country, economy, and money. That is what the Ignition Time channel is all about. I want you to please click subscribe. If you want to hear from us, get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time. So type that out into the body of the text message and then send that text message to the number 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list going forward. You can opt out of the SMS alerts at any point in time that you want. You can also get added to our email list if you want important news and information from us. You can get added to our email list by simply going to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you can opt out of the emails at any point in time that you want. Follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get exclusive news and content from us on Instagram. Also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. We release breaking news and alerts on Twitter. So make sure you follow us there. Now keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit the home page of our channel and then check out our videos at any point in time that you want. You won't be dependent on YouTube notifications. If you learn something new from this video, please click the like button. Gently tap that like button. In fact, I want you to ignite that subscribe button and ignite that notification button, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. You learn something new from other members of our community, please comment below. Our community is intelligent, it's bipartisan, it's respectful. You might make some new friends in our community, so definitely comment below. You'll also find the links to all of our resources always in the description section below, so you know what our new sources are and you can check them out for yourself. Please share this video with friends and family if you learned something new. Thank you so much. Don't forget to click like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to enable notifications. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I would really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.